Thank you guys for joining the podcast, Solutions Through Inclusivity. Thank you. Let me introduce. We have Jess Ellingham. Now, you're based in the UK, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And we have Chris Shearing, who's based in California.
Yeah.
Welcome. Jess, I think what we should do first and foremost is to understand a little bit about your background, what you're doing. You're obviously making this brilliant company, ESG Global. You're the president and CEO and founder of the company. So explain a little bit about who you are and your passion and mission about this organization that you've started.
Okay. My name is Jess Ellingham. As introduced, I am the CEO of ESJ Global Limited. ESJ Global Limited is to address environmental and sustainability issues. This passion is driven by my experience in environmental management in academics. And then also, with regards to everything pertaining environment, I'm from Ghana originally, so
Yep.
you can see the high impact of environmental and climate crisis in this country. So I had to think of how I can contribute into helping mitigate these effects of climate change, and then also how awareness could be created to address this issue globally. And I have also worked in the entertainment industry, festival industry. So I look at the synergies together and how to create awareness, how to foster change, and also innovation in addressing environmental challenges facing emerging economies. So hence ESJ Global was started, and then we've been working diligently to address this. So today we're here uh,
Yeah.
to see how we can all collaboratively contribute to a better environmental justice and also a more sustainable future for um, our planet.
Absolutely. Now, tell us what ESJ Global is trying to accomplish, because I understand, obviously, reading a bit about the company, and there's a lot of issues in Africa. Obviously, you're focusing on Ghana right now with water issues. So tell us a little bit, what is the major water issues that are happening in Ghana, and obviously probably other parts of Africa as well?
Yes, across Africa, globally, there is water crisis,
Yeah.
and I have been looking at human-induced effect on this, and then as is being highlighted globally, the effects of the mining industry on
Right.
water pollution. So we're working on a documentary which is titled Poison for Gold, which
Hmm.
looks at the environmental damage caused by river and groundwater pollution caused by surface water mining. So we've been working on it for 2 years now, trying to do the adaptation, and this same issue has been happening globally in Southeast Asia and also in South American countries. So this actually drew my attention because currently, if you look at the blue economy and then also water bodies is being very badly affected. And in Ghana, last year in the western region, they had to close some water treatment plants because they couldn't keep up to the damage on the environment and also the water polluted by these illegal mining activities, they termed it. So we've been working on it for some time now, and hence WowFest was introduced, which is going to be part of the festival to address global water crisis and also get the needed interventions to people that are badly affected. We started with Africa, and our main focus is in Ghana now. So
Yeah, yeah. Because I've been reading a little bit about it. So the dirty water runoff in Africa obviously poses great environmental threats, especially when it comes to obviously the children, right? So there's the health impacts, there's the causes, the eco damage, and the economic consequences of the water runoff. And I understand that ESJ Global, you're trying to come up with solutions to stop this. And you mentioned just a minute ago, Wow Fest. So this looks incredible. Explain what Wow Fest is, and Chris, hey, jump in anytime you want to.
I'm not shy.
Yeah, go for it.
Just
So
run with
explain,
it, but we're all good.
explain Wow Fest.
Okay, WowFest stand for World of Water Festival,
Yep.
and is to promote tourism as well as create awareness and also help impacts to create impacts as well. So WowFest, we looking to have World of Water Summit where change makers, policy makers come together, academic institutions, researchers, corporations come together on one main goal, which is to help have sustainable water for
Yeah.
everywhere, which is basic human rights, because without water there is no life. So it's just where policymakers, we all come together, see what innovations are there, what is being done, what are the causes, why are we where we are at now, why are clean water and sanitation still being an issue, and then also aside the World of Water Summit, which we're trying to have every year, the Wow First is a celebration and awareness creation for everybody to get involved, irrespective of your walk in life. So it's for students, everyday person. We just celebrating on our achievements and also on a common goal that every person, irrespective of wherever you are entitled to clean water, which is basic human rights. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Chris, what's your take on it all? Give us your little opinion.
My name is Chris Schuring. I'm the Chief Operations Officer of ESJ Global, and I was honored to have Jess invite me to be part of the organization. My take on it is I'm a technologist, and I'm a person that's been involved in lots of global issues. And my take is when you look at things like water, there's a large part of the world that just believes that water's there and there's no issues. I know that I've sat across from people in the financial world and they told me there's no money in water. And
Right.
why do we worry about water? Well, they're drinking a bottled water, that they paid $6 for.
Yeah.
But also the whole bringing awareness is part of the mission, because if we can bring awareness, we can bring change makers into the circle. To give you for instance, a friend of mine is a member of parliament in India.
Right.
For 4 or 5 years, we talked to him about water, and he's like, "Oh, Chris, don't worry about the water. It's okay. We got it handled, blah, that kind of thing." Well, last year, his tune changed. And the reason why his tune changes, his 14-year-old nephew died from a waterborne illness. Didn't have to happen.
No.
60 million people a year die from waterborne illnesses. 60 million people that don't have to perish. There's no reason for them to perish. They're not dying for other reasons, just waterborne illnesses. Well, now that gentleman wants me to come speak at Parliament in India.
Right.
Prior to that invitation didn't happen. So my role and what I do is to help Jess bring all these things to fruition, and then also to add technology to what we're doing. So how do we solve the problems from a tactical point of view? New water treatment systems, new atmospheric water generation equipment, new technologies for monitoring and metering, new technologies for distribution. Those kinds of things is where I see there's a huge opportunity. It's like until I got involved in Ghana, I'm doing some things in Ghana. Our company's doing some things in Ghana. I didn't understand that the world's largest man-made reservoir, Lake Volta, is in Ghana. So the world's largest man-made reservoir is in Ghana, and it's largely polluted.
Wow.
There's solutions to that.
Right.
But we can't bring in solutions from the outside in. Those solutions got to come from the inside out.
Right.
right? So we've got to be able to embrace each other. We've got to be able to embrace the economics and cultures of the regions that we work in order to solve those problems.
So
And
what?
that's the only way it's going to happen.
I totally understand. So what solutions are needed? What I mean, how can we get to solving these issues? Because obviously we hear water is a major problem. We've been hearing it for years, right?
Right.
So your company is trying to bring solutions. So what are you trying to bring? What is ESG Global trying to bring to the table? And who are you talking to and who should be able to help you do this?
Well, I think what we're bringing to the table is the uh, infrastructure
Right.
uh, people, the
Yep.
technologies. I'll speak to that end of it. The the coalescing of integration. Um, so we would be an integrator um, and also an innovator. So we're looking at it's kind of like if we marry products together that aren't necessarily in the same category, can we provide a better solution? So if it's in water treatment, I'm not talking about wastewater treatment, just water treatment, there are a lot of technologies out there that if we married them together, such as flow control and filtration systems, maybe we can marry those together and create a better solution. So our role is really number one, to get involved in the discussion. Number two, to be a change maker in those discussions. And number three, to bring technology, whether it's artificial intelligence or whether it's the uh, creation of new technologies, brand new technologies. We're working on monitoring and security. Water security is a huge issue, um, and what I understand fundamentally is that we can't clean up the water in places like Lake Volta unless we go upstream and determine what's creating the pollution in the first place.
Right.
We see videos all the time where people are cleaning all the trash out of the rivers in Southeast Asia and those kinds of places, but nobody's stopping them from dumping the trash at the headwaters of the river.
Right.
Well, if you're not stopping them from dumping the trash at the headwaters of the river, what problem have you actually solved?
Right. It's just going to continue, keep going, isn't it?
Right. And then I'll let Jess talk about that as well, but it's really about, and then the WOW Festival is a communication mechanism,
Yeah.
right? We expect that the WOW Festival, between in person and streaming, that we're going to be seen by millions of people, maybe 10, 15, 20 million people. And it's not a one-time event. It's going to be an annual events that we'll be doing. Well, in that 10 or 12 million people that are watching what we're doing, there's going to be some people that are going to stand up and say, let's get together and solve these problems. So it's a communication mechanism as much as it is a celebration.
No, fantastic. Jess, again,
Yeah.
I'm fascinated with this Wow Fest. So, let's dive into that a little bit more. When's that going to start happening? Are you planning? Obviously, you're trying to get this off and running. When is the plan for that?
Okay, so while first we're looking to launch with the World of Water Summit in Ghana in June.
June.
And this is where policymakers, change makers, academics, and also institutional leaders all come together to see what is there to address this water crisis. And then the second day, which is in June as well, is going to be the unveiling and the announcement of tickets release for Wow Fest. And then in December, Wow Fest production is going to be a 3-day festival. We're looking to stream globally, and attendees on ground is going to be 70,000 attendees. It's a 3 days event, and it's beginning 29th to 31st of December. So
Nice.
we will be having the opening ceremony on 29th, and then also our closing ceremony and New Year celebrations on 31st of December. And then the real work begins. We go out to see what innovations through our partnerships with various governments and what is needed where agencies is, and then our outreach work begins, i.e. infrastructure projects that we have to do, where we have to provide philanthropical work, and where groundwater cannot be treated, the alternative, which is the atmospheric water. We look to have all of these things in place, and then the following year comes 2026. There is another production. We also looking to host in various different countries. So where there is a persistent issue, that's where we host it.
Right. And you're starting in Ghana, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then what has the governments said about this? I mean, are they in favour of trying to assist? Because hey, listen, there's a lot of politics in this world, as we know. So how has the governments taken this, and are they helping?
Okay, so the previous government was very supportive of this
Mm,
project.
mm,
Unfortunately, there's been change of government, which elections happened last year, and they are just kind of putting their ministers and their political appointees in a kind of reworking on their parliamentary issues. And so, as soon as everything is settled on their side, which we're looking, I think, end of this month, by March is where our conversations begin. But so far, the conversations we having has been very supportive from the government side, and they are also looking to welcoming us in addressing this issue, which has become a national pandemic, and
sure.
they're also looking for various supports to help address these issues.
And what type of companies do you think should be involved with this? Because obviously, again, we don't want to get too political, but I mean, there's got to be some companies globally that can go, enough is enough. So who are you trying to reach to actually solve these problems?
So currently, we're trying to reach aside the
Go ahead.
Okay. So aside the political institutions, we also looking to reach out the technological tech institutions, also FMGs, academic institutions, because they have the researchers that we can collaborate together in addressing this, and also any other person that water is affecting, because this is not just an issue that is affecting somebody down somewhere. Water is a global issue. We all need water to survive. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's about time. Globally, we all have to work collaboratively together, irrespective of differences, because at the end of the day, we all have to drink water in a day. We have to cook with water. We have to bath with water, and irrespective of what we can do away with it. So I think it's a global collective effort, both institutions, political, and also individual.
sure.
Yep.
Chris,
Well, and it's some of the company, I don't want to necessarily name companies at the moment
sure.
by name simply
Yeah, yeah,
because we're working on partnerships and sponsorships.
yeah,
But we have a company that does waste to energy.
yeah,
You think, why are we worried about waste to energy? Well, waste is a problem in the pollution side. Humans create a lot of waste, and we're working with a company that can take waste materials and turn it into energy and other things. So they're looking at creating, and they're in Ghana currently doing some work uh, to be able to provide green power and alternative power for the WOW Festival. Um, and they want to bring awareness to waste management. So we're looking at doing partnerships with companies such as that as well. There's a pumping company, it's a worldwide pumping company that makes pumps for water wells and those kinds of things. We'll be talking to them as well. And also a carbon market. There's a organization in Oregon that is in the carbon marketplace. So they have a marketplace for carbon credits, and so we're talking to them as well. Uh, and so we're going from the bottom up and looking at those companies that we can be partnered with that need a voice as much as we do, but also are part of the ecosystem of water, not just water itself, but the ecosystem of water. Um, you know, I'm working with a group out of Arizona, and in Arizona, they're doing vertical farming and vertical growing, and food is part of the global problem.
Yep.
but food can't grow without water.
Right.
So, we're looking at the entire ecosystem of the water envelope, if you will, and seeing who we can partner with and bring into the fold. And that'll change over time. That'll change with events and countries and those kinds of things. But we're not averse to working with anybody who has the same focus that we do to help solve water problems, to help us make this happen.
And I know we talked about obviously, upstream, and you've got a lot of pollution when it comes to plastics and trash and so forth. Is that the main problem, or I mean, what is the main? Is it mining, or is it all the above? There needs more
It's all
education,
the
right?
it's all the above, and it's about education and communication. And what we like to say when I look at a problem is we'd like to do a feasibility study. So aside from raising money and awareness, if we look at a particular problem, we need to do a feasibility study to determine what the problem truly is. Is
Yep.
it lack of water?
Yep.
Is it polluted water? Is it too much water?
Right.
Maybe there's so much water where they can sell it and create revenue. Is it, the water's not getting to the right place? Those kinds of things. Is the water too far away from where it's needed? Is the distance between use and point of creation too far separated? Um, and it's through all of this, by involving the governments, the governmental officials, and those kinds of things, we can help change policy. I personally believe that probably 50% of the water problems in the world are driven by policy.
Right.
They're not driven by the actual event or product. They're driven by political policy, and whether those political policies are in favor of solving the problem, or are they in favor of getting votes, and those kinds of things. So we expect to be involved in all of those conversations.
Sure. Sure. And then with the Wow Fest, I take it that you'll be getting obviously musicians coming to play us, and some big stars hopefully to come and
Yeah, yeah,
support the initiative.
right. Yeah, we have a part of our team that's what they're focused on. We haven't secured any particular big names that I don't think we can really say on a broadcast yet.
Sure, no,
Uh,
absolutely.
but we also want to involve the local culture and the
Yeah,
local musicians, not necessarily big names. We want to involve people who are part of the community,
yeah,
uh, because they have a voice, and they need to be heard. And when it comes to a celebration, we need to celebrate their efforts as well.
now as we know, the G20 is going to be in South Africa. First time that the G20 summit has been part of the G20. Africa finally got their seat at the table. So my question is, Jess, what would you say to the leaders of the G20 about water issues? What would you want them to do?
Um, they are already working on this, but then they should know that this issue is imminent. Like,
Right,
we have to work on it as a global agency. You
right.
look in some states in the United States, they're struggling with water.
Yep.
Every part of the world, they're struggling with water, and this has become or is becoming a pandemic. And when you look at the UN SDG goals, it's part of it. It was meant to be, or there should have been something, or be getting nearer to something by 2020, 2030. And at this moment, it's still not feasible. So I think it's a global collective that we all take this as an agency or as a wake-up call for us to start doing something now, and it cannot be later. So collectively, I think we should all be putting minds together to see how this could be resolved at the average level or at the lowest level, rather than we putting measures in place that is so futuristic, but then the problem is actually now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Chris, you have anything to add to that? I mean, with the, again, G20 coming up, Africa, I mean, it's an opportunity for the African nations to, share their solutions, because obviously they know there's some challenges.
Right. Well, and I think it's a huge opportunity, and one of the reasons that ESJ Global exists and the WOW Festival exists so we can get involved in those conversations.
Correct.
I personally think that a lot of those avenues and the groups, the G20 and all those, they're looking at things in the right way. They're being very strategic. There's a lot of strategic discussions that go on at a very, very high level. But I think what's missing is the tactical application.
Right.
There's everybody goes and they pat themselves on the back and say how good a job they're doing, and they've got great strategies and they have great cocktail parties and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But it's time to get tactical.
Right.
And the only way you can get tactical is involve the local communities, to involve the local people, because if they don't accept the strategy will fail.
Right.
Right. So if you can go, if your strategy is to go clean up water in a particular polluted area, but you don't include everybody in the area, your tactics will fail.
Right.
So I think it's time to take the discussion from purely strategy to a tactical application.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Well, I mean, I think we've discussed some tremendous topics today. Jess, tell us, is there anything else that you'd want to share about your mission? I mean, I'm sure there's, operational challenges that you've been dealing with. There's some good stuff going on. So, just share last little bit with us about, your passion and how you're going to make this work.
So, the passion and the mission is to make clean water accessible to everybody. That is our mission. And we have a great team who have been together working on this project. But having said that, there are some challenges that we also have to overcome as
Oh, we lost them.
it's been good. We are also looking to have the policy makers and change makers involved in this on the World of Water Summit, because we can do what we have to do, but then in the world of politics and policies, if change is not made at that level, there is nothing much that we can do. We can strategize, we can come up with all these solutions, but if we are not backed by the real change makers and policy makers, then we're going nowhere. So I am just thinking it's something they can rally again up around us, and then to make this a reality.
Sure. Chris, any last words?
Yeah, from an operational point of view and from our strategy point of view, support is something we're always looking for.
Sure.
Whether it's financial support or whether it's voicing somebody's opinion on something,
Yep.
We're here to listen. We're here to learn. We feel that there are lots of issues to be solved, whether it's issues in Europe or issues in Africa or Latin America. The issues at a global scale are fairly synergistic, but at a local scale, they're very personal,
Yeah.
very pointed towards a particular type of community or a particular type of solution. And so we're always looking for support. We're always looking for how do we put all this together. We don't know what we don't know, but we are willing to listen and to hear other people's thoughts, because we want to make sure that we involve the global community, not just from a fiscal and financial and sponsorship and this is what we did kind of basis, but from a true engagement basis. So we're looking for engagement, and we're open for that discussion. Probably one of the bigger challenges we have is our team is spread all over the world, which
Right.
is a good thing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I'm in California. Jess is in the UK. We have a couple people in Canada, a couple other people in other parts of Africa, and those kinds of things. And it's great. It's a great team that we have put together. But those challenges can also be a roadblock. So what we're looking to do is make the team stronger, better, and put it all together so that we have success for everybody, not just for ourselves.
And where can people reach out to you guys? Do you have? I mean, I'll put it on the podcast here but if you have a website, you have an email address, let us know where people, if they're listening to this, watching this, they can reach out and go, I believe in this mission. We need to sort something out here. I want to support Jess and Chris and your mission to solving the water problems.
Go ahead, Jess.
Yes, my email address is jess@esjglobal.com. Also, I will share with you business telephone numbers, and also I'll share with you global office reach. And then our website is under construction because we have to work on all the synergies together. So hopefully within about 3 weeks, we should find us online. And if you want to reach out in the interim, my email address, Crystal will also share his email address, and then we will share with you our contacts, and you can reach out through that way. And then also our socials and websites should be up in 3 weeks' time.
And then you're also on LinkedIn and probably Facebook.
Yes.
People can find you there as well.
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on Facebook.
You're on LinkedIn. Hey, LinkedIn's good. LinkedIn's good.
Yeah.
That's fine. No problem.
Yes,
People can find you on LinkedIn.
It's just Ellingham on LinkedIn. You will find me there. But our socials, I have to withdraw from all socials until the branding and everything is ready. Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem. Totally get it. But we can update this for you as well. We'll put it out there on the comment section.
Okay.
How people can reach me is there's a couple different ways. Basically, if you Google my name, Chris Schuring, it's on the screen there.
Yep.
You'll find out more about me than you probably ever really wanted to know. But I've been at the technology game for 50 some odd years, so I'm out there. If you Google my name, but also you can reach me by email at okavate@proton.me. That's OKAVATE @proton.me.
Right.
And I have the WhatsApp numbers and telephone numbers, all those kind of things. But just Google my name. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all the social media platforms, and you can reach me through that. And I'm more than willing and very excited about conversations.
Fantastic. Well, obviously, I know you're going to be part of the publications, and as soon as the publications are out, we're just finishing up our G20 Brazil issue, B20 Brazil issue, which obviously you're going to be a part of, and then we've got G7 coming up, and then obviously G20 South Africa, and we'll share obviously your message within those publications to your social media and your network as well. But I want to say thank you very much, Jess and Chris, for joining us today. What you're doing is tremendous, and keep going. And I'm excited to see the updates. And I'm sure we'll do another one of these maybe 6 months down the road and see where we're at. Just in time for the big Wow Fest.
Yeah.
There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome to the party. So we're sending you the pre-invitation now. So you're welcome to the party. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for this great conversation, and look forward to many more in the future.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you very much, Chris, for arranging this meeting as well, and looking forward to be working with you, creating huge impacts globally.
Exactly. Great, guys. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and very enjoyable and very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.